Can
Hmm?
can you please share your channel?
I'll share. Yeah, in the group I'll share. Prayers of Rukmini. Some other slide. Okay. So what's the answer? Hmm? The gift. Third ring is suffering only. That's the correct answer. So the ring given by Birbal was it has a message on it. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. We all heard this phrase, right? Mostly this phrase is used in a sad situation. Somebody will come and pat your back and say that don't worry, this too shall pass. It's only temporary thing. You will get over it. You'll be happy after that. But this ring, when a happy person looks at it, this too shall pass. So he will become sad, and a sad person will become happy. So soon after the ring was given by Birbal to Akbar, after a few months, the king gets a news saying that a neighboring kingdom was going to come and attack Akbar's kingdom. Then Akbar comes to know that the king who is going to come and attack, he is very powerful. So he feels little distressed. He feels sad. Then in his lamentation, he was sitting there and thinking, and suddenly he looks at his ring, which says, "This too shall pass." And then he feels little relaxed. Okay, and then the neighboring king, he comes. He starts the attack. There's a battle that's going on, and then the son of Akbar, who was fighting in the battle, he defeats all the other soldiers on the opposite army, including that powerful king on the opposite side. So that news is delivered to Akbar, and Akbar feels happy about it, hearing that his son has defeated all the soldiers in the opposite army. He feels happy about it, and then while he was thinking about his happiness, he looks at his ring. This too shall pass, and then he feels sad again. So like that, it's a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. We have to go through both happiness and distress. uh, okay, how to tolerate calamities? This also we discussed. Uh, any points from this slide? How to tolerate calamities? Any points? Anyone remember? Other than what's already written on the slide.
It's not in our hands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just face it
Mm-hmm.
and be brave and face
Okay. So one thing we learned was you have something to say?
No, I think we discussed about things like one, as what she said, like not in our hands, and things like how do you handle like things like something that comes all of a sudden, like death, and
Yeah.
how you kind of like
Mm-hmm.
think about it and probably like use this information.
Yeah. So when it comes to strength, we discussed about death. All of us have to prepare for that biggest danger in our life, which is death. Before death, we go through so many difficulties, but everyone has to prepare for that biggest fear uh, everyone has, that is death. So in order to prepare for that, we need some strength. So all the problems that we have in our life, especially the natural calamities, because they come unwelcomed, they come all of a sudden. Just like how death comes, natural calamities come all of a sudden. Other problems you can somewhat by looking at the pattern, by looking at the precursor to the situation, we can understand the problem is going to happen or things are going to fail. But natural calamities, no clue. It will come all of a sudden. When things happen like that, we'll become strong. Okay, you can't do anything other than just tolerating those problems. So we have to gain strength by going through these problems in order to prepare for the uh, final stage of our life. See the mercy of the Lord. What did we discuss about this?
Something big could have happened, but it's still very less.
That's for the third point. That's for the third point. Soft-heartedness of the Lord. So, soft-heartedness of the Lord is, for all the bad things, for all the sinful activities that we have committed in this life or previous lifetimes, we actually deserve bigger punishment. But whenever something happens, let's say somebody encounters some accident, road traffic accident, and they escape with minor injuries, they need to understand that something big was supposed to happen, but God has saved them. That shows the soft-heartedness of the Lord. See the mercy of the Lord? Along with the problem, along with every problem, God also creates a solution. God never gives you any problem that you cannot solve. Somehow it will be solved. Your problem, somehow it will be solved. God will never put you in a situation where you cannot solve that problem. Okay? So, with every problem, God sends a solution also. We just need to figure out how to solve that problem. We just need to sometimes the problem may not disappear. Okay? No matter what you do, the problem may not disappear. But God gives us the strength to tolerate that problem and makes us think as if the problem does not exist. So He will give us the intelligence and He will give us the strength to transcend that problem. Transcend means going beyond that problem. Going beyond that problem. Remember we discussed about the pain of scorpions, 14,000 scorpions, and I think your wife Swati asked, does everyone face this problem at the time of death? And we discussed, so the pure devotees, they do not encounter this problem. The 14,000 scorpions biting. So the famous story is Markandeya Rishi. Does anyone know this story? Markandeya Rishi? So the Markandeya Rishi, he was, when Markandeya Rishi death happened, he was incorrectly taken to hell. Then Markandeya, he was taken to hell, and then he was made to sit on. And the reason why he was taken to hell is in his childhood. In his childhood, he, I think he killed some ants with some.
I think you're talking about Mandavya Muni, not the example is Mandavya.
Yeah, Mandavya Muni. You're right. Yeah. So he pricks the heads of the ants and tries to kill them. And based on this point, he was taken to hell. So, but Mandavya Muni, he's a rishi. He's a saintly person. He has all devotional qualities. So he was wondering, why was I taken to hellish planets? He asks Yamadharmaraj. And Yamadharmaraj says this, you have killed these ants in your childhood. And that time, Mandavya Muni was made, in the hellish planets, there are so many punishments, right? Mandavya Muni was made to sit on a spear, like a iron ball or something, which is very hot, like a burning hot. He was made to sit on that, so that he will know he will know the suffering that the ants went through, caused by Mandavya Muni in his childhood. And Yamadharmaraj says the same thing, saying that in your childhood you killed these ants mercilessly, That's why you are brought to hellish planets and you are made to sit on this hot boiling or burning spear. And that is when Yamadharmaraj notices that actually Mandavya Muni, he was not actually sitting. He was not sitting on that spear, he was floating. He was floating on top of that spear. So he does not experience any pain because he's a pure devotee. He does not experience any pain. Then Yamadharmaraj asks, then what about the ants that you killed? Mandavya Muni says, that time I was below 12 years. So kids, anything they do below 12 years, there's no karma. Because it is believed that kids up to age of 12 years, they are in their pure consciousness. They are innocent, they are in pure consciousness. They don't have the intelligence to discriminate between good and bad, karma, vikarma, what is to do, what is not to do. They don't have that intelligence to discriminate. So, hearing this, Mandavya Muni, Yamadharmaraj releases Mandavya Muni. But because of that, Mandavya Muni curses Yamadharmaraj to take birth in a Shudra family. Who becomes Vidura. Vidura. Yeah. Okay. So that's why the pure devotees, they do not experience this material suffering. They are above that. They are beyond. Okay. So the next topic is how to tolerate urges of senses. So all of us, we have 10 senses, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses. So the 5 working senses are, the sense of touch, sense of feel and touch, sense of smell, sense of hearing, sense of seeing, sense of smelling. 5 senses. Uh, so anything that we learn in life, we learn through the sense perception. Using these 5 senses, we learn many things. We gain knowledge about many things in life. And our mind mind is also a sense. Mind is the 6th sense. It is a subtle sense. Okay. The mind always wants the senses to have a pleasurable experience. Mind wants the ears to always hear happy things. Mind wants the nose to always smell good things, nice, good aroma. Mind always wants the touch or skin to feel soft and comfortable things. Mind always wants eyes to see pleasing things. So like that, we always want pleasurable experience. All the senses should have pleasurable experiences. There's a small story. In a village, there was a shopkeeper, a merchant shopkeeper, who opens the shop in the morning, and then there is a beggar who is passing on the street. The beggar stops by the shop, and as soon as this merchant sees the beggar, he calls out for his wife, who is inside cooking in the kitchen. So this merchant, the shop owner, he calls out for his wife and says, "Oh Lakshmi, I put 1 lakh rupees in the safe. Can you bring that?" So hearing this, the beggar thinks that, oh, looks like today is my day. All good things are going to happen today. The shopkeeper is going to give 1 lakh to me. So hearing this, he feels very happy and he waits. No. Before that, before the shopkeeper calls out for his wife, this beggar, what he does is he starts praising the shopkeeper, saying that uh, um, um, So he calls him, with some respectable notation. What can be some notation? Respectable. Oh, sir. Okay, let's say, oh, sir. Oh, sir. Your dress is very nice. You have a beautiful kurta and dhoti that nobody in the village has. Such a beautiful kurta and dhoti. Hearing this, the shopkeeper is happy. And then he calls out for his wife for saying, "Oh, Lakshmi, please bring, I kept 1 lakh rupees in the safe. Please bring that." Then the beggar feels very happy, thinking that he's going to get this 1 lakh. And then the beggar thinks, okay, maybe if I praise a little bit more, I'll get something more. And then he says, "Oh, sir, your front yard, the grass in the front yard is very neat. It's nicely trimmed and nicely, mowed. Looks very green. Looks very fresh." He starts praising again. And then the shop owner, he again calls out for his wife, saying that, "Oh, Lakshmi, along with 1 lakh rupees, I also kept a golden bracelet in the safe. Please bring that also." Then hearing this, the beggar is more elated with happiness. Huh? And then he starts appreciating more. This time he says, "Oh, sir, the decoration in your shop is so beautiful. It's like a mandir. It doesn't look like a shop, but it's like a mandir. It's so attractive. You have decorated your shop very nicely." And he praises like that. Hearing this, the shop owner, he calls out for his wife Lakshmi again, says that, "Oh, Lakshmi, along with the 1 lakh rupees, along with the bracelet, I have also kept a golden necklace. Please bring that also." So hearing this, the beggar thinks, okay, I think this is enough for today. If I ask more, if I become more greedy, the shopkeeper may not give anything at all. So then he stops there. He stops there and he waits for Lakshmi to come outside. He waits for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, but nothing comes out. There's no Lakshmi and no gifts. Then he, with some courage, he asked the shop owner, "Oh, sir, I have been waiting for that 1 lakh rupees, the golden bracelet, golden necklace. I have been waiting for all this. Can you check? Can you call out for Lakshmi again?" And then the shop owner asks the beggar, how did you make me happy?" The beggar says, "Yeah, I gave you some appreciation. First, I praised your kurta dhoti. Then I appreciated your, front yard. Then I appreciated your, your decoration in the shop." Then the shop owner also tells the same thing. "I'm also making you happy like that." Are you happy? Did you feel happy? When I said that, did you feel happy? The beggar says, "Yes, yes. Yes, Maharaj, I felt happy. So I also felt happy and I made you also happy. Now go home." Go to the next home. So like that, our eyes, our ears, they always want to hear all good things. But that's not the reality in life. The moment we want to experience pleasurable things, we may get a opposite experience. We need to tolerate those. So Krishna, in chapter 5, he gives one principle. Shaknoti haiva yassodum praksharira vimokshanat kama krodhat bhavam vegam sayukta sasukhi naraha. So Sanjay, you want to read the translation?
Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this
In this world. So Krishna is saying that before giving up the present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses, that's the most important thing. Okay, just uh, pause there, and we'll discuss the second part of this translation in a bit. So, able to tolerate the urges of the material senses. um, if we don't tolerate this before giving up the material body, what happens? The problem is at the time of death also, we'll be hankering for all good things. We'll be attached to happiness. We'll be attached to worldly things, thinking that worldly things will give us happiness. And we don't want to die. We don't want to die. Because at the time of death, everything will be taken away, right? And that's why that pain of 14,000 scorpions biting at the same time. So, unless we learn to tolerate the urges of our senses during our lifetime, when we are in good health, unless we practice this, we will not be able to tolerate the biggest danger at the time of death. And even while living, even when we are in good health, if we don't tolerate the urges of senses, what happens? If things are not in our favor, then we will face disappointment, frustration, we'll go through anger, all those things will happen. So that's why we need to tolerate the senses and control that the desire, or not exactly desire, but greed. We need to control our greed. Desire eventually becomes greed. If the desire is not fulfilled, it turns into anger. If the desire is fulfilled, it turns into greed. So we need to check. We need to check means we need to control them. We need to control the forces of desire and anger. Only then a person will be peaceful and happy. Okay. Now, how to do this practically? How to control the senses? Because the senses are always active. They always want to engage in something, in some activity. The ears always want to hear something. Eyes always want to see something. All the senses. Yeah. So, how to control this? How to control the urges of senses? How to tolerate the urges of senses? We cannot shut them. We cannot close our eyes, saying that only if I see, then there is a question of good and bad. Only when I see, there is a question of happiness and distress. What if I don't see at all? What if I close my eyes? Then there is no happiness and distress, right? No, that's not how it works. We cannot close our eyes. We cannot shut our senses. We cannot close our ears. We cannot close our nose. So the senses have to be engaged somehow or the other. Senses are active. The mind forces the senses to be engaged. So what's the technique then? What's the solution? Self-determined. Okay. But still the senses are active, right? They always want to be engaged in something.
But self-determination, not reacting to those kind of stuff.
No, the soul is active. Even a self-determined person, even a self-realized person cannot sit idle. We hear about all the yogis going to Himalayas and trying to do some meditation, right? How many of us can do that? Even those yogis, they cannot shut down their senses completely. They close their eyes, but their ears are still working.
By engaging it into the spiritual activities?
Yeah, that's the key. The solution is we need to dovetail our senses in spiritual activities. Dovetail means it's a special English word which means we need to divert. We need to divert our senses in the right path. We need to engage our senses in the right way. So all the five senses we can engage spiritually. We can engage in spiritual activities. So Prabhupada, when he started this movement, ISKCON movement, he defined the word devotion. Generally, when we hear the word devotion, we think of bhakti, right? It's bhakti. What is bhakti? The general understanding is it's a feeling. It's a feeling for God. Okay? Some respectable feeling or some awe and reverence or some emotions. It's a feeling basically. The general understanding of bhakti is it's some feeling. Feeling of love, feeling of attraction for God, feeling of awe and reverence for Vishnu, stuff like that. Uh, but Prabhupada, the very first time, Prabhupada gave a very precise definition of devotion. He says devotion means devotional service. It's not just devotion, it's not just a feeling. When you love somebody, you cannot just say that, oh, I love you. When there's a birthday, if you just say, I love you, that's not sufficient. The beloved expects something, expects a gift. Every birthday you are saying the same thing, every day you are saying the same thing and not doing anything. Yeah? So if Vamshi Krishna, comes home from work and his wife, I forgot your name,
Priyanka.
Priyanka. So Priyanka tells Vamshi Krishna that, oh, you are such a nice person. I'm blessed to have you in my life. Please come home. Will that fill your stomach?
Maybe I came to the wrong home.
That's another topic. That's another topic. In fact, I just saw recently I saw a video where they were trying to experiment this thing, because this concept of saying I love you in Indian families between wife and husband is a foreign element. It's a foreign thing. It's an alien thing, right? It's not there in our culture. Wife saying I love you to husband, husband saying I love you to wife regularly on a regular basis. Maybe at the time of marriage or before marriage, they might say. But after marriage, it's not only rare thing, but I don't think anybody says that. Maybe very few people might say that. So some ladies they experimented this, saying that uh, there are a group of friends. Okay, so one lady calls the husband and and says, "Oh my dear, I love you. Oh honey, I love you." Something like that. Then the immediate reply from the other side, the husband says, "Is everything okay?" And then another lady, she calls her husband and says the same thing. "Oh honey, I love you. Oh dear, I love you." And then the same reply again, in a different words, but the same reply. Like that, all the ladies in that group, they all try and they all get the same response. Nobody directly gets a reply saying that I love you. I love you too. Nobody gets a reply like that. They say, is everything okay? maybe you got a wrong number. so so like that, yeah, Vamshi Krishna might think that he came to a wrong house. But let's say she says that. So will that fill your stomach? No, right? You have to cook, you have to do some action to make him actually feel happy. So love means verb. It's not a noun. Love is not a noun. It's a verb. It's an action. When you're loving something, you have to do something for the beloved person. So that's why devotion means devotional service. Senses have to be engaged in devotional service, in serving the Lord in different ways. Okay. So there is a there's a beautiful shloka explaining this concept of engaging all of our senses in devotional service, in spiritual activities. This is the shloka written by Kulashekar Alvar in Mukundamala Stotra. Okay, so he says, first let's read the translation, then we will recite the shloka. So, Shesha Bhavani, you want to read the translation?
O tongue, praise the glories of Lord Keshava. O mind, worship the enemy of Nura. O hands, serve the Lord of Sri. O ears, hear the topics of Lord Achyuta. Eyes gaze upon Sri Krishna. O feet, go to the temple of Lord Hari. O rose, smell the tulsi buds on Lord Mukunda's feet. O head, bow down to Lord
Lord
Adokshaja.
Adokshaja. Yeah, it's a very beautiful shloka. Mukundamala Stotra is full of beautiful melodious shlokas. There are 53 shlokas. One should learn all the shlokas. You will love it actually. You will develop taste for shlokas. You will develop some taste for meditation on Krishna. Hmm? You can practice smarana, remembrance of Krishna. So the shloka goes like this. Jihve kirtaya keshavam muraripum cheto bhaje sridharam पाणिद्वन्द्व समर्चयाच्युतकथा श्रोत्रद्वयत्वं शृणु कृष्णं लोकयलोचनद्वयहरेर्गच्छाङ्घ्रियुग्मालयम् जिग्रघ्राणमुकुन्दपादतुलसीं मूर्धन्यमादोक्षजम्. So very beautiful. Okay, now let's all recite this together. I will recite one line and you can repeat after that. जिह्वे कीर्तय केशवं मुररिपुं चेतो भज श्रीधरम् पाणिद्वन्द्वसमर्चयाच्युतकथा श्रोत्रद्वयत्वं शृणु कृष्णं लोकयलोचनद्वयहरेर्गच्छाङ्घ्रियुग्मालयम् जिग्रघ्राणमुकुन्दपादतुलसीं मूर्धन्यमादोक्षजम् There are 4 or 5 verses in Mukundamala Stotra like this, which emphasize this point of engaging our senses in spiritual activities. So what does the shloka say? Jihve kirtaya. Jihva means the tongue. O tongue, praise the glories of the Lord. Jihve kirtaya. Huh? What glories? Glories of Keshava. Glories of Keshava, who uh, who killed the Mura demon. Who killed the Mura demon and also Keshi demon. He killed Keshi demon, that's why he's called Keshava. He also killed Mura demon, that's why he's called Murari. Murari. Hear the glories, sing the glories of Keshava and Murari. Jihve Kirtaya Keshava. And O eyes, O tongue, praise the glories of the Lord. And then the mind, O mind, worship the enemy of Mura. Cheto bhaje Sridharam. Cheto bhaje Sridharam. Muraripum Cheto bhaje. In your mind, worship the killer of Mura demon, who is Murari. And what to meditate upon? Meditate upon the beautiful form, the Rupam of the Lord. Okay? And O mind, Cheta means mind, Chetana, Chetas means mind. O mind, worship that Sridhara in your mind. And for the hands, Pani Dvandva. Pani means hand. Dvandva is two hands. Pani Dvandva. O hands, what are the hands supposed to do? Pani Dvandva Samarchaya Achyuta. O hands, please offer namaskara to the Lord. Please offer namaskara to the Lord. With folded hands, offer namaskara to the Lord. And Shrotra Dvayatvam Shrunu Achyuta Kata. Shrotra means ears. Shrotra Dvaya, 2 ears. O ears, Shrunu. Shrunu means hear. O ear, please hear. Hear what? Achyuta Kata. Hear the story of Krishna. Hear the story of Achyuta. And for the eyes, Lochana is eyes. O eyes, please see the beautiful form of the Lord. Krishnam lokaya lochana dvaya harer. Lochana dvaya. Lochana is eye. Lochana dvaya means both eyes. Oh eyes, please look at the form of Krishna, beautiful form of Krishna. And gacha means to go. Gacha means to go. Angri, legs. Yugala means both, two legs. O legs, go to the Alayam. Alayam is temple. O legs, go to the temple of Hari. Harer Gachangri Yugmalayam. O legs, walk to the temple of Hari. And Jigra. Jigra means nose. The nose has to smell. What should the nose smell? Nose should smell. Jigra is nose and Grana is to smell. Grana is the activity of smelling. Jigra Grana Mukunda Pada Tulasim. The nose should smell the tulasi leaf offered at the lotus feet of Krishna or Mukunda.
I think I have an understanding where like Granam is usually nose, right? I'm guessing like Jigga.
No, Grana is to smell. So, Grahati. Grahati means to accept. Grana comes from the root word Grahati. Grahati means Grahanam. Chandra Grahanam, Surya Grahanam, right? What does it mean? That means Rahu or Ketu have captured, have overcome Surya or Chandra. Okay? Or in other words, Surya or Chandra have accepted Rahu and Ketu. So Grahana means to accept. Grahati, Grahana means to accept. So Grana means to smell. Jigra is nose, Grana is to smell. The nose should always smell the tulasi leaf placed at the lotus feet of Krishna. Mukunda pada tulasim. Murdhan. Murdhan means the head. Head should always bow in front of Adokshaja. Adokshaja is another name of Krishna. So like this, we have to engage all our senses in the service of Krishna. So this is the technique for engaging our senses or tolerating the urges of our senses.
Adoksha, like, is it like something that has significance? Like just like Murari and Keshava, is it like
Yeah.
some kind of demon killing me or something?
So, yeah, Adokshaja means, the meaning of the word Adokshaja means, Aksha means eye. That eye represents our senses. Eye is one of the senses, but when the poets or when Alvar, Kulshekar Alvar or any acharyas, they write kirtans or shlokas like this. If they are including one word in a group, it includes all the other elements in the same group. Aksha is one of the senses, but here Aksha represents all the senses. Adokshaja means one who is beyond the senses. Adha means above, beyond. He is beyond the senses. He is beyond the senses. We have to engage our senses in worshipping that personality who is above these senses. That's why Adokshaja. He is beyond our senses. Okay? Next. How to tolerate criticism. This is the biggest thing, right? So criticism, this is what we always receive from other people, and this is what we give to other people all the time. Our mind, our eye, they are trained so badly to always see bad in every person, in every situation. You all remember this famous exercise, right? When I think when somebody in a classroom setting, when the teacher draws a beautiful painting and shows it to the students and asks for their observations. Different students give their observations differently. Many people look at a black dot on that paper instead of focusing on that beautiful painting. They look at that dot and they try to make some observations about that. Very few people look at that painting and give appreciation about the painting or description of the painting. But majority of the people in the class, they only look at that black dot or a stain on the paper. And uh, or another way of doing this exercise is, imagine a white paper, completely white paper, and then there is a black dot on the white paper. And you show it to a group of people. What will everybody say? What does that black dot signify? Why did you put a black dot there? That's what they will ask, right? Nobody asks anything about the white paper. Nobody asks anything about the white paper. They'll only look at that white dot. Just like in the classroom setting, very few people gave appreciation about the painting, but everybody looked at that black dot. And they were wondering, what is that? They were wondering, they were thinking that they need to observe that black dot. That is the secret of this exercise. And then they give different observations about the black dot. So like that, our mind, our eyes, they're always trained to see bad in others, to see bad in every situation. And the irony is, when we receive the same thing from others, we cannot tolerate it. We cannot accept it. Hey, I have done 99 good things to you, and if one thing goes wrong, you're criticizing it. And we'll only remember that one thing. Let's say somebody appreciates us 99 times, and they only criticized one time. We'll only remember that one negative thing. We forget all the 99 things, and we only remember that one bad thing. So that's how powerful this this concept of criticism is. It overcomes us. It overpowers us. It drains us out completely in every walk of our life. So how to deal with this? Using this abbreviation, ICS. I for improve, C for careful, S for shelter of God. So when somebody criticizes you, when somebody gives you some negative feedback, so instead of blaming the other person, instead of thinking negatively about the other person, we should see if there is any room for improvement in your activity, in your service. Let's say you are performing a service in the temple, and somebody comes to you, the temple president or temple manager comes to you and gives you some negative feedback. Instead of blaming that person, instead of thinking badly about that person, you should see, oh, maybe I can do better. Maybe there is some improvement in my service. So we should always look for improvement. When we receive some criticism from others, we should always look for improvement. But instead of that, what we always try to do, as soon as somebody comes to us and gives some feedback about our activity, we always try to defend ourselves. We always try to defend ourselves. Remember, in the first chapter of Gita, what did Arjuna do? Arjuna was acting like a defense lawyer. He was quoting all different references from Shastras, saying that for these reasons, we should not kill the family members. We should not kill the elderly people. We should not kill the people who are younger to me. In a sense, I should not kill anyone. And Arjuna gives different reasons, different scriptural references for that. He was trying to defend his argument of not fighting. His initial argument was, I should not fight. Because on the opposite side, all are my relatives, my worshipable Dronacharya, teacher Dronacharya, worshipable grandfather Bhishma Dev. So I should not fight. To defend that, he spoke 30-40 shlokas. That is, to prove that his argument is right. And that's what we do. In every walk of our life, we are always acting as defense lawyer. We're always trying to prove our point. So the point should be that it's not to prove who is right or wrong. The point is to do the right thing. We should not have a goal of proving yourself as right. You should have a goal of doing the right thing. Even if your perspective, your opinion is not right, if the other person is saying whatever he's saying is sensible and is the right thing to do, you have to do that. But our mind cannot accept that. We only tend to do what we think is right, and we always make arguments to prove that point. So instead of proving, what we should do? Improve. That's the first technique to deal with this criticism. Because we receive feedback all the time. We receive feedback, no matter uh, how expertly you do things, no matter how uh, no matter if you are a Savyasachi, if you are able to do things with both hands very efficiently, just like how Arjuna was able to do, no matter how expertly you do things, you will always receive criticism, and we should learn to tolerate. So the next technique to tolerate criticism is careful. When we receive criticism or feedback from others, even though there is no truth in that, okay, let's imagine that there's no truth in that criticism or negative feedback given by the other person. We have to take that feedback so that we will be careful and not make that mistake in future. Okay, so let's say Priyanka cooks nice nice gulab jamuns, okay, and Vamshi Krishna gives some feedback saying that it's not as soft as it should be. Okay, so imagine she has made soft gulab jamuns only, very sweet, soft gulab jamun. The texture is also very nice. Everything is very nice. But Vamshi Krishna gives a feedback saying that perhaps it could have been a little more softer. Is that what happens all the time?
And next time you won't get that
Make yourself.
Make yourself. DIY, do it yourself. so even though there's
But
no,
yeah, it gets feedback.
it gives feedback. Yeah. So even though there is no truth in that, let's say the gulab jamuns came out perfectly, very soft, the texture is nice, very brown and reddish brownish, very sweet. Everything is perfect. Still, you take that feedback so that next time when you make gulab jamuns, you'll be extra careful not to make that mistake. So we should accept it in that way. So careful.
What if
Uh,
it doesn't give feedback?
huh?
What if it doesn't give feedback?
What if he doesn't give feedback?
Or what if he compares with someone?
That's a dream situation, right? Not receiving feedback is a dream situation. It only happens in dream. In the dream, you can make gulab jamun and not receive any feedback. But in reality, it's not like that. You'll always receive feedback. So, do you all agree? Huh? Or is it only in the books hypothetical scenario we are talking about? We receive feedback all the time. We receive feedback. So,
We give feedback only if it's not good. If
hmm?
it's good, we'll keep it.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. And very seldom we receive good feedback. Most of the times it is criticism only. Uh, so there was a true incident that happened within ISKCON. Few years ago, there was a senior disciple of Prabhupada. Okay, after Prabhupada has left the senior, disciple, senior monk, one day he was sitting in the temple and chanting his japa, Hare Krishna Mahamantra on his beads. And then there is a new person in the temple, a young person, new person, who just started his journey in spirituality. So he observes this sannyasi who was sitting and chanting on his beads. This young person, newcomer, he goes to the sannyasi who has been practicing spirituality for 20, 30 years. This young person or newcomer goes and gives a feedback saying that I think you are not very attentive while you are chanting. So this is the feedback he gives. Now he's a newcomer. He just came like 6 months ago or so. And this sannyasi, he has been practicing bhakti for last 20, 30 years. Uh, Now, what will be the general response in situations like this? The sannyasi could go on and saying that, what are you talking? You're a newcomer, you are a neophyte devotee, you just started bhakti, whereas I gave the definition of bhakti, uh, and I have so many disciples, I have 5,000 disciples. I do this all the time, 24 by 7, 365 days. I have been doing this for last 20, 30 years. You don't even deserve to be in the temple. Go out of here. That could be a response. But this sannyasi, what he has done is very pleasing. So he, with folded hands, he tells to this young person, newcomer, saying that, thank you for the feedback. I'll pay attention. I'll be more attentive next time when I chant. So the sannyasi is already attentive. He has been doing this for last 20, 30 years. He's already attentive. In fact, he gives classes on attentive japa. So there's no question that he is not attentive. But he did not get angry when he received that feedback. He did not get angry. Rather, he took that feedback in a positive way, and he took that as an instruction from Krishna. He took that as instruction from Krishna, saying that, okay, maybe Krishna wants me to be too extra careful so that in future I will not be inattentive. So if you all be careful in that way and receive the criticism or feedback in a positive manner, then we'll be peaceful. Third technique is shelter of God. So whenever we receive any criticism or feedback, we have to remember that that person who is bringing this criticism is just an instrument of God. He's not doing it intentionally. Even if he is doing intentionally, we should not look at his intentions. We should not judge his intentions. We should only think that maybe Krishna is trying to teach me some lesson here. He is just an instrument in the hands of Krishna. He is bringing Krishna's message. By giving this feedback, he is just giving Krishna's message. We should consider this person who is giving the criticism as a mailman, and we should not have any grudge about him. We should not have any grudge upon him, saying that, oh, you are giving a negative feedback. I worked so hard. I worked last night, entire night, researching about this, and I'm delivering this project, and now you are giving me this feedback. I cannot accept it. Rather, you get angry on that person. It disturbs the whole thing. It disturbs the other person who is giving the feedback. It disturbs you. It messes up the whole thing. So we should just take that as a message of Krishna. We should consider that person as an instrument of God and take shelter of God. And sometimes these are all the good things. Okay, these are all the ideal things that one should practice. But many times the practical aspects are totally different, right? At workplace or in the family, in the society, we cannot apply so idealistic principles like this. Even if somebody is giving negative feedback, we cannot say that, oh Krishna, this is Krishna's message. We are not saintly people, right? To say like that. So in those situations, we need to instead of responding very quickly, we should react. The technique is, instead of responding, you react. No, the other way. The other way. Instead of reacting, you respond. So reaction is, it's out of anger, or you're reacting on the spur of the moment. You're saying, you tend to say something very harsh. You show your anger. You lose your temper. You show your anger. All those things. Instead of reacting abruptly, you respond. You take a step back, you pause, you think about it for a few seconds, and then you give a proper response. If you think the criticism or the feedback you receive, Hare Krishna, if you think the feedback you received by the other person doesn't make sense, it's not appropriate, you can convey the message politely, saying that, Hare Krishna, hey, what you have given, I don't like it. Maybe it doesn't make sense. Or can you explain why you think so? Can you explain why it is so wrong? You can politely ask. You can politely ask for more details. So responding is the right way in our practical day-to-day life. If not, if you are not able to apply these idealistic techniques, saying that oh, this is a message from Krishna, he's an instrument of God. Eventually we have to go there, but momentarily, if you are not able to apply these idealistic principles, so remember this technique. Instead of reacting, you respond. Okay. Uh, Next, how to tolerate people. Now, going back to this point, this concept of criticism, right? Uh, we all know that people generally give negative feedback. That's why it is called criticism, right? Uh, so my spiritual master, Radhanaswam Maharaj, he gives a beautiful analogy to explain this point. So let's say Vamshi Krishna invites Sanjay to their home for dinner, and then Vamshi Krishna serves a nice, delicious dinner to Sanjay. So what would you say?
Appreciate the food.
You appreciate the food, like what? Just say some sentences.
Very delicious.
Okay. More details. Go to the menu. Go to the menu. Go to the menu. Talk about the menu. The dal makhani is so nice. And the paneer is so nice. The roti is very soft. Huh? The butter on the roti is very, very tasty. The samosas are so tasty. The gulab jamun is so soft, so tasty. Huh? Stuff like that, right? But, and this is what we do all the time. Whenever we go to somebody's home or when we invite somebody's home, this is what we see all the time. They appreciate the dal, they appreciate the sabji, they appreciate the biryani, they appreciate everything. But what is one most important thing that is forgotten?
The time and effort they put.
Okay, that is also neglected, but sometimes people appreciate the time also. You must have spent a lot of time cooking all this. They say like this. So the time is also appreciated. Time and hard work is also appreciated. The menu is appreciated. The time and hard work is also appreciated. But there is one thing that is neglected completely. Nobody talks about that. When they go for a dinner or lunch to some friend's home, there is one element that is completely neglected.
Praying to God before eating.
No, no. No, let's stick to this menu only. Food only. Let's stick to food only.
Farmers.
Hmm?
Farmers.
Farmer. Okay. That's the next level. Yeah.
White rice.
Huh?
White rice.
White rice? Okay. People are so creative. Maybe you're coming closer. I can say that. You're coming closer to the answer. White rice. Yes. Now build up on that. Think more. Think more deeper.
Is it related to rice?
Related to the menu. Related to the food on the table. Related to the food that you have just eaten. God, farmers, yeah, those are good things. Those are high level things. But just related to the food that you just ate, one thing that is most neglected, completely neglected.
So people throw food or
Hmm?
something? Throwing food.
What is that?
Like people throwing waste of food or something.
No, no.
Correct ratio of spices.
Huh?
Correct ratio of spices.
Very good. Most importantly, the salt. Okay, salt. The spices also sometimes people can give you feedback. It is too spicy, less spicy, stuff like that. Uh, when you say that the dal makhani is good, what does it mean? Dal makhani tastes good only when there is sufficient quantity of salt in it.
Yeah, not less, not more.
No, not less, not more. So the salt is such a subtle thing which is all the time neglected. So the point that Radhanaswami Maharaj was trying to say that, right? In every society, in every community, whether it is a temple setting or in a classroom setting or in a workplace, in a family, in a community event or wherever, we only notice and appreciate big projects, or we only notice people who are doing big things. Okay, like somebody is doing heavy lifting, heavy weight lifting in a community event, in a festival, like in Ananda Mela. In the next 2 months, August first week, ISKCON is going to celebrate Ananda Mela in Redmond. Now there is a lot of heavy lifting is needed. Trucks are to be driven, heavy items are to be carried. So generally, people notice only these people who are working on this heavy stuff. But nobody notices those people who are doing small things which are very important. Yeah, please. People who are doing small things, but they are very important. And those people, they'll be doing those small things consistently. For example, in the temple in Bombay, ISKCON Bombay temple, there used to be this person who uh, who just does a very small service every day in the temple, very small service, like uh, like giving teardam to everybody whoever is coming in the line, all the visitors coming in the line. This person gives teardam to everybody. Okay, imagine Janmashtami festival or Ramnavami festival, and hundreds of people, thousands of people coming in the line. This person's service is to give teardam to everybody, whoever comes. Now, when you go to ISKCON temple on Janmashtami day, you will see somebody will be giving teardam to everybody coming in the line. Now, nobody notices the service of this person. But this person, he has been doing this consistently every year, every festival, multiple times. This is consistency. Small work, small service, but consistency. So Radhanath Swami Maharaj's point was, we should appreciate not only the big projects, big people, but we should make an extra effort to notice smaller things, smaller people doing smaller things consistently. Then our eye will be trained to see good things in everybody. In fact, when we see good things in somebody and appreciate, what happens?
It motivates
Hmm?
motivates the other person who is doing it.
Yeah, okay, very good. It motivates the person who is doing this. Yeah.
Happiness.
Hmm?
Happiness.
Happiness? Happiness to what? Happiness to who?
The
The
person
giver
who's
or
taking
receiver?
both. I mean, because the person who is taking the service, he's happy,
Yeah.
and the person who is taking the service, he's also happy. So both are happy on both the sides.
No, let's say this person is not receiving the service. He just notices. Let's say somebody, tomorrow when you come to the temple, you see one lady making garlands for Krishna. You are not receiving that service. She is making garlands for Krishna.
But she's having the
So when you
talent for
give
it.
that good feedback, when you appreciate her, she is happy.
Yeah, true, very true. Very true. She's happy.
Are you also happy?
Yeah, I'm also happy
How?
because the way she's making the garlands to the Lord, and then like she's having such a good talent, like which I might not be having. So
Yeah.
that makes me happy.
Yeah. So first of all, you feel good about it,
Yeah.
and you also become happy. That's also right. How you become happy is when you appreciate somebody, the body releases happiness chemicals. Remember, there are some happiness chemicals: oxytocin, dopamine, uh, serotonin, endorphin. There are 4 different happiness chemicals. These different happiness chemicals are produced when we do different things. When you take care of children, when you take care of the pets, when you do gardening, or when you do your household work. Most of the times, whoever is doing the household work, whether it is husband or wife, like washing the dishes at night after all the dinner, everything is done. That's the last thing everybody does, right? Sometimes the husband does, sometimes the wife does. So, and most of the people think that is, uh, most of the people consider that as a cheap activity. But the truth is, when we do that, the body produces happiness chemicals. So, like that, when you appreciate somebody, it's for your own good sake. You have to appreciate to make yourself happy. Because the body produces happiness chemicals when you appreciate. When you love somebody, it makes the other person happy, it makes you also happy. So love also, the act of love also produces happiness chemicals. Act of gardening, act of cleaning the house. That's why ladies, this is the good thing about ladies. You will always see them, especially during our mother's time or grandmother's time. The ladies, they have a habit that they clean the house, and after a few hours, they again clean the house. They keep on cleaning the house. They keep on going every corner, nook and corner, and they try to clean things. Is that not true? And we think that, oh, that's not needed. But it makes them happy. It produces happiness chemicals. Cleaning the house produces happiness chemicals. It keeps the house clean. It gives happiness to everybody and also to the person who is actually cleaning. In fact, the person who is cleaning will be the most happiest. Because the body is producing so many happiness chemicals. So like that, when you appreciate, remember that it is for your own good sake, you have to appreciate the others. And that is the best way to hold our tongue and not criticize others. So whenever we see people, whenever we see situations, there can be different types of observations. One category of observation is you'll only see good in everything. Okay? There may be good and bad, but you will only see good in everything. That is the idealistic scenario. The other category is you will see both good and bad, but you only talk about bad. Okay? You only talk about bad. That's that's not an ideal scenario. The other category is you see both good and bad. You neglect the bad and you only talk about good. That's very good, but not as idealistic as the very first category. The first category is the topmost category. You see only good. You see only good. Even if there is bad, your eyes don't catch it. You'll only see good always. That's the idealistic scenario. Okay? But at least this third category is you see good and bad, but you only talk about good. Now the worst scenario is you only see bad. Even if there is good, you don't see it. You'll only see bad. That's the worst scenario. So this is a spectrum of 4 different categories, how people can observe things and situations and people. Okay? So ideally we should be in the first topmost category. Always see only good. If not there, we can see both good and bad, but try to speak about only good things. In order to speak about bad, in order to give a negative feedback or some criticism, certain things are needed. One is you need to have some authority. You need to have some authority to give that negative feedback, the criticism. Like as a husband, Vamshi Krishna can give feedback to Priyanka. Or you should, and you should also see, is it the right time to give that feedback? Is it the right time to give that feedback? Now Priyanka has worked so hard. She spent a couple of hours of time and she wants to surprise Vamshi Krishna as soon as he comes home. There's a gulab jamun on the table. She wants to make him happy. But as soon as Vamshi Krishna puts one bite of gulab jamun, he gives a feedback. Oh, I wish it could have been less sweet, or I wish it could have been more softer. Then what happens? So it spoils the whole thing. It spoils the whole mood of making somebody happy. So why did I tell this? There's a context.
What would the other
Time.
say?
Time. Yeah. So is it the right time? So let's say the gulab jamun is as hard as rock. Okay, that's how Priyanka made it. But still you should eat it. Okay. But still you should eat it and not give the feedback on that time, at that time. Later, the next day, you can sit with her and say politely that maybe gulab jamun can be made like this. Let's look up on YouTube some nice recipe.
What if we say this is good?
When she eats, she will test.
Yeah,
When she eats,
yeah,
she will know.
yeah. When she may not, find faults in her own cooking. She will overlook. She will overlook at faults in her own cooking.
How about false appreciation?
False,
Appreciation.
false
Not
appreciation.
good, but you say it's good.
Okay.
Generally, that's very common actually.
Yeah.
Especially in a situation where you don't want to say bad things.
Mm-hmm.
With outsiders.
Right, yes.
With
If you go to
outsiders.
somebody's home,
Yeah.
even if dal makhani is bad, you're going to say it's good.
So that person falls in the third category. He sees both good and bad, but he only talks about good. Even if he tastes dal makhani as bad, but he only says it is good. Yeah, just to be nice to the other person, and just to not have any quarrel with the other person. Just gives a good feedback. Okay. Even though that is false, but it saves many things. It saves both people in that situation. And then maybe it is not the right time to give that bad feedback. That's why you are giving good feedback, and later on you can give the actual criticism, actual feedback. So that's why focus on strengths instead of the first technique to tolerate people is focus on strength. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. People make faults. We all have our limitations. Nobody is perfect. So don't expect everybody to be perfect, and don't ask others to expect perfect things from you. Okay. But even if you see uh, even if you see some good things and bad things in the other person, only focus on the strengths. Uh, let's say you are meeting your friend after a very long time, after 2 or 3 years. Now try to recollect what are the things this person is good at. Okay, and start glorifying that person instead of criticizing this person in front of that person itself, or instead of speaking ill about this person with another person. These are all not useful. It's not useful for that person, it's not useful to you, it's not useful to the third person who is hearing it. So this is another technique we should remember. When we are, and this is what happens most of the times, right? Gossiping. Criticism happens in the form of gossiping. Criticism is not given directly to that other person. It is conveyed in the form of gossiping with a third person, saying that oh Vamshi Krishna is like this, he's like that, he did like that, he shouldn't have done this way. So people always gossip, and they find pleasure in that.
How to tolerate those people like who are good at with you, but they are talking bad about you with someone else?
Yeah.
So how to tolerate them?
How to tolerate them? Yeah.
I think that's very common.
Huh? That's very common. That's very common.
It's very common at work also and in other situations.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we think that so and so person is talking behind us, They are talking nice in front of us, but behind us, they are all gossiping about us. Before we say anything about that person, we have to introspect ourselves. We have to uh, look at what we are doing. Are we gossiping about any other person? Are we gossiping about this person? If not this person, are we gossiping about anyone else? If we are doing that, and most of the times the answer is yes. If we are doing that, we do not have any right to stop this person. We just have to tolerate because we are gossiping about other people. It's natural for someone else to gossip about us also.
No, like for example, the situation is not with us. We have people like who are good with the third person, and now they're gossiping with us.
Yeah.
So we are not even engaged in that gossip. But we know, like, if they are doing this thing to someone else, so they could have done the same thing with us as well. So,
Okay, so they are not gossiping about you,
us, yeah.
but you overheard some conversation
Yeah.
where person X is telling bad things to person Y about person Z.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or to us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are talking about the person X to us.
Yeah.
So how to tolerate them like that situation?
Yeah. So now in order, before you can give any feedback to that person there, you have to see, do we have any relation with that person so that you can give some feedback to him, saying that, hey, I just overheard this and I did not feel good about it. Even though it's not about me, but still I did not feel good about it. Before you can give this feedback, you have to see what is your relationship with that person. If you are in some relation with that person is your friend or your well-wisher, or you are his well-wisher, like that, you are his teacher, something like that, then yes, you can give that feedback. Otherwise, just keep quiet. If you don't have any relation, you don't have any authority, you cannot say anything.
And what to do with the person who was gossiping?
Who was gossiping? No, that's what I'm saying, right?
Oh, but he was gossiping about someone else, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't have any relation with some person who we was gossiping about.
Yeah.
So I cannot give the feedback to them. But how to tolerate that person who was
Now,
gossiping?
whatever you hear in that conversation, you should just forget there only. You cannot go to the culprit and say that, hey, I overheard this conversation.
Exactly.
Somebody is speaking ill about you. No. Yeah, we should not do that. Yeah. I know it's very difficult. That's the most difficult part because our mind always wants to take things from here and transfer there.
No, but we don't know about them. Like we don't have any relation, so we don't talk to them. Like we won't even convey that thing. But how to tolerate that person who was gossiping? Like he's gossiping about someone, he's always crying, like something.
Yeah. So that's why I said, if you have some relation with that person who is gossiping, you can convey some message.
They don't take that messages. I don't have that authority to give that feedback to them.
Yeah, then you cannot give any feedback. You just have to tolerate.
You can apply the same ICS improve.
No, improve is only when you are involved. So she is saying you are not involved there. So there's no opportunity for improvement in what you are doing. So yeah, in most of those situations where you are not directly involved in that gossiping, you just ignore. You just act as if you have not heard anything. Yeah. So focus on strength, neglect weaknesses, cultivate appreciation. Okay, we spoke a lot about this appreciation. Uh, so of late, I have been noticing actually this act of appreciation is lacking in people. It's lacking big time. I don't know, people either they are busy or they don't realize the importance of giving appreciation. Uh, I mean, let's leave the situation of family, wife and husband. That we know. Those problems we know. But even in general, in the society, appreciation among different people in the society, that's lacking big time. It's lacking big time. It only takes few seconds to appreciate, to say a few good things about a person. Um, I don't know where is the problem, but whether the people are busy or people don't realize the value of appreciation. Uh, Honestly, I don't know where is the problem, but it's lacking. It's lacking big time.
I think in India it's lacking to a higher amount than in here because, like for example, we just hold the door here, right? So we does thank to the other person, but
Yeah.
once we were in India and we hold the door and people were just passing. After 5 minutes, someone was looking him like he was holding the door, and people looked him like he was a security guard.
I mean, the culture is like that, so we
Even
cannot.
in here, like I have noticed, like Indians, like whenever we go to some places, they don't hold the door. Like I mean, the other day I saw at a temple in Boston, like there is a door, like they have to hold. Like there are so many people going out and coming inside, and one person he was holding the door, and like suddenly he closed the door, and then one old woman she got hurt. So that was like so bad.
We expect other people are doing their duty.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, appreciation is prominent in this country. I agree. I agree. People say thank you for small things.
Even
People
bus
speak
driver lady say
politely.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and even let's say uh, you're walking on the street in a beautiful sari. Let's say American lady sees that, they'll definitely make a comment. They'll appreciate that. Yeah. So this is prominent in this country. Appreciation is prominent in this country. So yeah, somehow it is lacking. I don't know if it is a cultural thing or lack of time or busy. People are so busy they don't even notice good things. Somehow we have to fix it.
Maybe most of the times I think people take it for granted. Like, I mean, I'm getting my thing done, like why should I
That's what
not do
happens in the family. In the family setting, between wife and husband, we take things for granted. Familiarity breeds contempt. We take things for granted. Yeah. So now the problem is, what happens is, the practical problem is, see, let's say after 20 years of marriage, okay, if the husband starts this act of appreciation,
Definitely wife is going to doubt that.
she's going to doubt. Not only doubt, it will look very unnatural, right? It will look unnatural. Either you fix the problem early in the life, or it will be very difficult to fix the problem.
Like you were saying the other day, I mean, the other time you were saying, like on messages, like husband was asking, are you okay?
Yeah.
Same thing, wife will think, like, is he doing okay?
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. So, it's an art. Appreciation is an art. There's no science. There's no, step-by-step procedure to cultivate this appreciation. It's an art. Everybody has to figure out how they can cultivate this act of appreciation. So I think, is it 8:20? Huh? Oh wow! Did not even realize this time. Thank you for tolerating. I think we concluded. So you are only seeing good. So thank you. I think we successfully completed this. I mean, we can talk so many points about tolerance, but yeah, sure. Okay. So see you all next week with a new topic. Thank you. Hare Krishna.